when you're identifying trees, once you have a twig with two leaves, the next thing you do is you figure out if the leaves are simple or compound. And if they're simple, that means they have one blade. If they're compound, that means they have more than one blade. So something like a walnut has lots of little leaf blades that are attached on a stem that is attached to the tree. There are fewer species with compound leaves than simple leaves. So if we go back to the case of simple leaves, then you look at the shape of the leaf. For example, actually three of the ones that we're standing close to here, the redbud, the basswood, and the Bradford pear all have heart-shaped leaves. So once you get the heart-shaped leaves, so say now we have three, now we have to figure out which one is which. Well, the basswood has toothed leaves, big teeth on their leaves. So you can look at that and say, well, that's a clue. And I kind of think of all these characteristics as clues. The Bradford pear has little teeth on the leaves, but then you have to look at the buds. And the buds that's what's going to grow into a new branch next year. And they are really, really hairy on the Bradford pear, and they're not hairy on the other two species. Then the redbud, being the third one, has very smooth edges to its leaves. It will also often have little legume type fruit, little flat bean like fruit. So that's another way to identify the redbud. Okay, right in this area in the PSU courtyard, we see a lot of redbuds, and there's a red maple and a basswood, which is sometimes called bee tree linden, and then several Bradford pears, which is along this row right here, and some eastern red cedars, which are over there. They're evergreen, and I see a white pine. From here, you can actually see quite a few different species of trees. There's dogwoods, which is also our state tree, and there are some American hollies around, pretty close by. Well, my favorite tree has probably always been the ginkgo tree, and we have quite a few of them on campus. There's one really large one right in front of Carrington, and it turns a bright yellow in the fall. And usually what happens is it'll turn bright yellow, all the leaves will be on the tree, and then all of a sudden a windstorm will come along and all the leaves will blow off. The reason that I think it's interesting is it is not a conifer, but it is a gymnosperm, so that means it does not have any flowers, does not have fruit, although we call the little things that come off of them ginkgo berries, and they smell bad in the fall, winter. But those are actually little cones. It is deciduous, so it loses all its leaves. I often get asked by students and other people whether you can eat this. Can I eat this? Can I eat this? And generally it's better to be safe than sorry. Most of the trees around here have nuts as the fruit. Most nuts are edible, so nuts are usually pretty safe. Fleshy fruit, like holly berries, or I'm trying to think of some other, there aren't that many species with fleshy fruit, but those you have to be a little bit more careful with. So then it's just a matter of knowing what you're looking at. If you know that you're looking at, for example, there's a species called serviceberry that we have several of on campus. They have little fruit that look about the shape of a blueberry, but they're red, and they are edible. But I would still not recommend someone eat them unless they knew that that's what it was.